Hey, everybody, and welcome to another deep dive. Today, we're going to be looking at something that's might make you look at diaper changes a little differently.
Oh,
Is the connection between diapers and how babies learn to walk.
interesting.
Yeah, you've probably got a little one at home who's just starting to find their feet right now. So we're going to break down some fascinating research about how diapers, even the modern ones, can actually impact those first steps.
It's funny how much we sort of just take for granted
I know,
with
right?
all those everyday things like diapers. But this research really makes you stop and think about the subtle ways they might be affecting our babies.
Absolutely. The study we're looking at today is called Go Naked. Diapers Affect Infant Walking.
Okay.
Catchy title, right?
Yeah.
And the findings are pretty surprising. So researchers in this study looked at how babies walked in three different scenarios. So completely naked, wearing a typical disposable diaper, and then sporting a bulky cloth diaper.
Oh, wow. So it's like a little time travel experiment,
Yeah.
going back to the days of those super thick cloth diapers.
Yeah. Because it's a fascinating comparison point.
Totally. So what do they find? Well, it turns out that those fluffy bottoms can make things a bit trickier for those new walkers.
Yeah, it's the babies wearing diapers, especially the cloth ones, were much more likely to stumble or even take a tumble.
Yeah, like trying to navigate an obstacle course with pillows strapped to their legs.
That's a great analogy. The little ones are still figuring out their balance and coordination.
Yeah.
And that extra bulk between their legs kind of throws off their center of gravity, making those first steps even more challenging.
Absolutely. And here's the kicker. Even the disposable diapers had a noticeable effect. So the babies who were wearing those disposable diapers took shorter, wider steps compared to when they were naked.
Hmm.
It's subtle, but those differences in their gait can indicate a less mature walking pattern.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
It's all about the biomechanics.
Yeah.
Even a thin diaper changes how their legs move, how they balance, and ultimately how efficiently they walk. Think about how much more stable you feel with a wider stance when you're carrying something heavy.
Like a big bag of groceries or something.
Totally.
Babies are working with those same principles, and that extra diaper bulk changes their base of support.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
That's so interesting.
Yeah, it really just highlights how these seemingly small things can have such an impact on those early milestones.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And you know what's even more fascinating? The researchers actually calculated that wearing a cloth diaper
Wow.
could set a baby's walking progress back by almost 8 weeks.
That's almost 2 months of
Yeah.
walking practice just because of the type of diaper they're wearing.
Exactly. So, for those parents out there wondering if those cloth diapers are hindering their little one's walking journey,
Right.
this research definitely gives them something to consider.
Definitely. But, there's another side to this whole diaper dilemma, right?
Yeah.
We've talked about the challenges, but
Yeah.
what about the potential benefits?
Oh, yeah, you mentioned earlier that there could be some positive long-term effects from those early struggles.
Hmm.
What's the thinking there?
Well, imagine it like this. Those babies who are learning to walk in diapers are constantly having to work a little harder, engage those muscles a bit more to compensate for that extra bulk.
Okay.
It's like a mini workout
Yeah.
every time they take a step.
So those diapers are like tiny little resistance trainers.
Exactly.
That's a pretty cool way to look at it.
It's possible that this extra effort could actually strengthen their leg muscles
Yeah.
and improve their balance in the long run. It's like building a stronger foundation for movement.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So while those bulky diapers might make those first steps a bit more challenging,
Mm-hmm.
they could actually be helping build some super strength and stability down the line.
Right. It's a fascinating example of how development isn't always just a straight line.
Yeah.
Sometimes those little obstacles
Yeah.
can actually lead to greater strength and resilience in the long run.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
It really makes you think about the bigger picture, right?
Mm-hmm.
We tend to focus so much on hitting those milestones quickly,
Right.
but maybe it's more about the journey and the different paths babies take to get there.
Absolutely. Every baby develops at their own pace, and this research just adds another layer to that understanding. It's not about rushing the process, but about supporting those early steps in whatever way works best for each individual child.
I love that. So we've talked about, those immediate effects of diapers, the good and the bad.
Right.
But what about the long term?
Yeah.
Do these early differences in how babies walk have any lasting impact?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? This particular study focused on those real-time effects, those first steps. It didn't follow the babies as they grew and developed.
So it's like we've just scratched the surface of this whole diaper walking connection.
Exactly. It would be really cool to see a long-term study.
Yeah.
Imagine following a group of babies,
Yeah.
some who learn to walk in diapers and others who have more diaper-free time, and seeing if there are any differences in their motor skills later on.
Oh yeah, like do those early tumbles in cloth diapers actually lead to better balance down the line? Or are there any lingering effects on their gait or coordination? So many questions.
Exactly. There's so much more to explore. It'd be great to see research on things like athletic ability, how easily they master different physical skills, even their overall confidence in movement.
Oh, that's interesting. It could change how we think about diapering altogether.
Absolutely. Maybe those early challenges do create a stronger foundation for movement. Or maybe there's a sweet spot for diaper-free time to encourage optimal development.
Yeah, for sure. Well, one thing's for sure, this research definitely gives us a new perspective on those everyday diaper changes.
Absolutely. It reminds us that even the smallest things can have a big impact on those early years.
Hmm.
And it highlights how much we still have to learn about those fascinating first steps and all the factors that shape how babies learn to walk.
Well, I think we've covered a lot of ground today. Hopefully, this deep dive has given you some things to think about as you watch your little ones navigate those exciting early steps. Thanks for joining us. And remember, whether they're wobbling, toddling, or cruising around those first steps are a magical milestone.
And who knows, maybe those diapers are playing a bigger role than we ever imagined.
Until next time, keep exploring and celebrating those amazing milestones with your little ones.